Hi BookTube, it's Gina. I'm here today to talk to you about traveling with books. I've seen a bunch of people who have talked about traveling this summer, and I was like, what did you take? What books did you pack? Did you read? I wanted to know much more about their reading habits and their book habits while they were traveling. So I thought I would create a tag to talk all about how we travel with books. Now, also, I am doing another trip in September. My birthday is the 18th, and on the 19th, I'm gonna do a 5-day trip to, yep, you guessed it, Las Vegas. One of my favorite travel destinations. I know, I've been there. This will be my 3rd trip this year. That is not normal for me. I generally don't take 3 in quick succession trips like this to Las Vegas, but I feel like I'm making up a little bit for lost time because I couldn't travel, of course, over the pandemic. And I've got free rooms and I can't pass it up. So I'm gonna do another trip. And that made me start thinking about what books I'm going to take with me, what I'm going to download on my Kindle. I don't think about what I'm gonna pack as far as clothes. I'm not much of a clothes horse. You probably guessed that already. I tend to pack the same clothes for every Vegas trip. I was looking at a picture that popped up in my picture history from 7 years ago, and I was wearing the same bathing suit that I'm planning to take on my September trip, if that tells you anything. I'm not much of a shopper or much of a clothes person. It's kind of funny because when I travel with my sisters, they buy new outfits and they always look so cute. And in every yearly trip, you can tell which trip it is because they're wearing different things. And every trip, I'm like wearing the same dress. As a matter of fact, I have a picture of me in this dress in Las Vegas out front of Hell's Kitchen. Probably 5 years ago. So anyway, I don't care much about clothes, but I do care about books. So I really want to hear from you about how you travel, what books you take with you. If you have a channel, I would love for you to do this tag. And if you don't, I would love to hear your comments down below. So the first prompt is, do you read when you travel? Seems fairly straightforward, but I find sometimes that I don't read as much as I think I'm going to when I'm traveling, especially in Las Vegas, because when I'm at the pool, which is the majority of my day, I get up in the morning, I go to the pool, we eat breakfast, we eat lunch at the pool, we have drinks. I will stay at the pool until 4 o'clock or so. So literally all day at the pool. And I like to eat, I like to drink, I like to float around and swim. And I just find that I don't read as much as I think I'm going to. And then when I'm at home, I always read at night on my Kindle, but I do drink a little bit in Vegas. And so sometimes when I get back to the hotel, I'm not really in the headspace to be reading. So I don't read as much as I would like to, or as I think I do on vacation, but I do always still pack a ton of books. And I will talk about that in a minute. Prompt number 2, actually I'm gonna combine 2 and 3, is do you travel with paper books and do you travel with an e-reader? And I travel with both. So it's kind of funny because even though I don't read as much as I think I'm going to, I will still pack. I always take my Kindle and I will make sure to download 5 or 6 books that I may want to read because it doesn't have, it has Wi-Fi, but it's a pain in the neck to hook up to Wi-Fi on a Kindle somewhere else. So I make sure that I've downloaded a few options of things to read. And then I always take at least 3 paper books with me because I like to travel with books. Do you like to travel with books? Even if I don't read those 3 books, I need to have books on my nightstand. I need to have books in my room somewhere in order to enjoy my vacation. Is that weird? So even if I don't read my paper books, I always take at least 3, and sometimes more, depending on how fat they are. Prompt number 4 is how many books do you pack? So like I said, I always take at least 3, but sometimes I take more. I know. If they're paperback. So like when I was traveling and it was Book Trek month, actually this was last August, because the books were so thin, I took a more than just 3 books with me because I like having books with me. I like having options. I like just the way they look. Books are so comforting to me and I like to have them around me. So I pack a lot of books. I also sometimes will pack a book that I'm gonna just leave in the hotel room. I don't do this as much anymore, but I have on occasion had a paper book, or I will buy something at the airport and with the intention of I'm just gonna read it and then leave it either at the pool if I finish it or in the hotel room if I don't feel like packing stuff back. I generally pack very lightly just with a carry-on, and so sometimes I do leave books behind if it's something that I know I'm not gonna be reading again. Prompt number 5 is, does where you are going or how long you are going to be there impact the quantity or the type of books that you take? So for instance, I always take 3 books pretty much, so I wouldn't take more or less. I was like thinking if I was going for a longer time, maybe I would take more books. But honestly, my suitcase usually can't take more than 3 to 5 books, regardless of how long I'm traveling for. And if I'm going for a longer period of time, I may download more Kindle books because that will give me more options. But my suitcase can't generally take more than 3 to 5, regardless of how lightweight they are, because I pack so light. And the type of books I pack usually, so for next month, for instance, I'm going to be buddy reading The Paying Guest right here. And so I'll probably download that on my Kindle because this is a pretty chunky book and I'm not going to want to put this in my suitcase. So I may actually buy this on my Kindle. I'll try to reserve it at the library, but if I can't get it at the library in time, I probably can get it at the library, but if I can't, I will probably buy this on my Kindle. But I don't do like vacation books versus like beach books. Whatever I'm reading, whatever, now that I've got a booktube channel and I do sometimes read for events. If I was traveling in October, I would be taking something Victorian for Victober. I'm probably not gonna do any September events, so I'm just gonna be reading. I will probably take a couple of my fun cozies, maybe a couple of the new things that I bought. I will be taking one Star Trek book with me because Book Trek continues through September, so there will at least be one Book Trek book on the agenda for September, depending on where I am. So I'm not going till the 19th, so I have a little bit of time to see where I am with my buddy read, where I am with my Book Trek book, etc. It might be fun though. I'm planning to read Stephen Hawking's Brief Answers to the Big Questions for Book Trek. One of our prompts for September is read a science book, just any science book. And so I think I'm going to read that one. That might be kind of fun to read at the pool, just because it's a little bit, I do like to read things that are a little bit unusual or unexpected. And so, so that might be fun. I love seeing people, this is sort of an aside, but my last trip at the pool, there was a whole line of ladies like lined up like this with their arms on the edge of the pool and with their books open like this, just like reading at the pool. I just love that. Makes my heart sing. I absolutely love that. Prompt number 6. Oh, this one I love. Do you buy books when you travel? Do you do bookish things? Do you visit bookstores? Do you visit libraries? I will be, there's two very bookish things, three very bookish things in Las Vegas that I will be doing. So even though Vegas is not a bookish place, there is Bauman's Rare Used in Books in the Venetian. It's in the Grand Canal Shops. And I do, if I get there, I will probably visit, just walk through that shop. It's rare. It's like books that are way out of my budget, but it's a fun walk through. Also at the Venetian, there's the Dorsey, which is a cocktail lounge that has a library in it. There's like a whole wall of books. It's beautiful. And then at Park MGM, there is the Nomad Library, which is another restaurant and cocktail lounge that is it's this like huge space with these soaring high walls and ceilings, and all of the walls are all bookshelves. It is gorgeous. So if I make it there, I will definitely take some pictures. I was there was I there? Not on my last trip, but my trip before that. I was there, and it's so beautiful. I will visit bookshops wherever I travel. When I was in Juneau, Alaska for work one year, I went to the library downtown, which was amazing. I love visiting libraries. I love visiting bookshops. I will oftentimes buy a book as a souvenir when I'm traveling, because that's a really fun way to commemorate a trip. And I'm not a big knickknack person, but I love to bring books home from my travels. I probably won't bring anything home from Vegas because there are no bookstores on the Strip, and I can't afford anything at Bauman's, sadly. Actually, not sadly. I never want to own books that are so expensive that I would be crushed if I spilled a cup of coffee on it or something. That's just not fun for me. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'd love to hear your answers to how you travel with books in the comments. Oh, I'm going to tag some people. I almost forgot. I'm going to tag some people who have recently this summer talked about traveling, and who I was like, what are you taking? What are you bringing back? Now I'm going to tag Shelly as Shelly Swearingen because she traveled this summer, and I know she shipped a whole box of books back. So that I love that. I'm going to tag my friend Kelly at Books I'm Not Reading, who traveled this summer and took a big stack of books, and I don't think she read but a couple of them, which I think is also very funny. I'm going to tag Amy from Amy of Hearthridge, because she just mentioned that she had been traveling this summer. And I'm going to tag my friend Sandy at Miss Reads a Lot, who just did a camping trip, who took a big stack of books, and I'm pretty sure did not read a single one. But she did share her camping book stack, which I loved. Check out that video if you have not already seen it. And I'm also going to tag Nikki at Red Dot Reads, who was traveling all summer and really neglected us. We missed you, Nikki. So I think that is it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.